Welcome to the Nine Podcast. In today's episode, I'm gonna talk about stress and how stress is your worst enemy because he never quits and he will always be there just around the corner. He will be in every single situation. He will be in every single thought you have, every single feeling, some kind, and he will always be there. Probably there is a good amount of stress, but most of it is a bad one. And everything reflects just on you. That's why you have to protect yourself. Back in the days, let's say 1,000 years ago, do you think people had stress? Or they simply acknowledge their own fate? Because only by knowing what comes, only by knowing your future, because it's that simple, you will not have this feeling of stress, this overwhelming stress. Okay, they could be worse. You could know that tomorrow you can fight and die, but you simply know that somehow this is your fate, because you are in a war for your own country. Not only that, for your own family. You're fighting for something greater than you. So the stress, there is no time for stress. What about today? The future is so unrealistic. The future is so hidden that it's, even if it's something easy, actually could be hidden for you in a second. Because let's say you are 20 years old or 16 and you want to become a YouTuber, and all of a sudden you see in a video from somebody else that promotes dropshipping, and all of a sudden you want to be a dropshipper. And with a simple choice, with a simple thought, you gain the whole stress, the stress of thousands of hours, because you are imagining how you can be the successful dropshipper without even knowing a single step how to achieve it. And the stress is on you already. Doesn't matter anything. Doesn't matter if you even don't start it, and if you even never start it or do it or become a dropshipper. This simple example, we have stress nowadays in every single thing, and also people around us, they're putting their own stress on your shoulders. just because they want to feel lighter, but they don't care that it's too heavy for you. And all of a sudden, you're responsible for your whole family. And all of a sudden, all of your friends depend on you. And all of a sudden, you have 100x your stress. And this only affects your health in your life, your happiness, your well-being, and your future. And you are closer to that with every single stress that you put on your heart. Can you imagine how your favorite people are killing you every single day? Can you imagine your closest one to came up next to you and to stab you with a knife? Because that's exactly what happens to your heart and to your health. In this kind of world we are living today, stress is everywhere. Stress is in everything, and it's a number one reason for the unhappiness and for the bad health and for the ruined relationships and relations at all, and people's future. If you are listening to my podcasts, you know that I'm on a healing journey right now. I'm not fully on it, but I'm trying to improve. And right now, for the past week, I've been improving my health because I've been in a hole, and I'm realizing just now in how deep hole am I. Even I could be in a hole without exit, simply because it took me too long to stop stressing out, to stop helping other people. Could be too late, don't know yet. We're gonna find out. But doesn't matter if it's too late. What matters is that every single stress that you put on your heart, it's already too late. Already too late for your heart to feel the same, to feel this healthy again, to be this young. To love with the same power. I've been, when I was younger, in some relationships in which I was in love. And I've been in love truly, really deeply hard, really hard. So hard that my heart broke. And my heart was breaking every single day. Years. I've been struggling 5, even 6, 7 years. More than 5 years, 5, 6 years. Just to not to heal my heart, but to break it to the point in which it is not pure anymore. To break it to the point in which some people could make their heart stop. So actually in my life, I always smile and I'm happy about everything, but I'm realizing with time to how much I've been through in every single manner. And it's completely my fault. Of course, when I was a naive and little, let's say, it should happen, you know. That's the part of life. That's life. But to continue with the stress, with the disappointment, like a daily routine, with the broken heart, with the struggle and pain, it's a suicide. And I've been killing myself my whole life. My whole life. From probably 14 years old. Kinda half of my life and 90% of my conscious life. I've been killing myself every day. And also with the struggle I put on my journey to manage, at least to make it work, and to make it work and to make something meaningful. I'm also killing myself, but at least with a purpose, like in the old days. And that's what keeps me pushing. I just hope to not be too late, and I have faith that it's not. But from my health, for my health it's enough. For my stress, it's enough. Of course, you know that quote, you have to go out from your comfort zone. You know, I'm a kind of person, don't know how long I've been in a comfort zone. I've never been in a comfort zone. If I was, it will be for a simple moment which I appreciate with my whole being. And actually I never let myself to be in a comfort zone. And I always put myself to the stress levels. Because I know that I have to do something unordinary. Something that nobody else will. And that's the exact path. Of course it will cost me too much. Of course it will cost me everything. Of course I can even achieve nothing. But I have to try. I have to give my best. And even when I was losing time, I was giving my best. Even when I was stressing out to the point in which I'm killing myself, it was for a reason, but just some of the reasons are not that selfish. And by selfish, I don't mean to do something for myself. I mean, while I'm doing something for somebody else, to think for myself. Some of the reasons are too heavy to accept. And once you are in that roller coaster, you will see yourself and you're gonna find yourself in the end. But in worst condition in which you started. And if you're in my scenario, you're gonna be in the worst position in your whole life. Of course, you can fix it, but some things are not fixable. That's why I'm talking about stress. And even I'm an example that in my whole life I never make a bad decision. A bad decision, I mean by doing some bad things. But I've done bad decisions that affects my health, my whole life, not just my day. And I think this is worst. And I think sometimes I think that it's better to be a crackhead, something, to be a bad person, to be everybody's worst nightmare, to be awful example, a disgusting person, because that's when nobody wants to be around you. Nobody will take advantage of you. And nobody will stab you. Of course, you're gonna kill yourself. But somehow those are the people that if they could came back, they have enough power to overcome everything, to dominate, and to achieve whatever they were desiring. What about the people that were with honest hearts, that was helping everybody from the beginning? At 30 years old, they are exhausted. They're in so bad condition on which it's kind of impossible to heal. And also they're in a place from which they cannot survive and they cannot escape. Simply because everybody was depending on them. And what left for these people? If the bad person become the good one after, what will happen with the good person? He will become a bad after? What if he become a bad one? You will not have a choice to come back again. The bad one, when become a good one, he will not want to become bad again. Or if he become, he will know how to escape it. But for a good person, he will be already exhausted, and there will be no escape. He will be already overwhelmed and close to death. And becoming a bad person just will finish him off. That's why you have to, from my personal point of view, you have to look out for yourself. You have to protect yourself from anybody, and from your closest ones the most. Because if you're a good person and you exhaust yourself, when you switch to the bad person, you will not have an option and will not be able to escape. But if you protect yourself earlier, and you know that the time will come, a time in which you have the option to become a bad person, you have the mental power and will overcome it. So I'm begging you, look out for yourself. I'm not telling anybody to be a bad person, but be respectful to yourself and let anybody else know that you respect yourself. Only through respecting yourself, everybody else will respect you. Thank you for your time. See you in the next one.